Hey guys, and welcome back to the CHO channel. And obviously this is a Chelsea news video. Would say it's daily, but obviously as you can see by my latest videos, I've not been that consistent, have I? So it's not daily, is it? But yeah, we're here to talk about a couple of things today. Obviously the reports that came out last night about Callum HudsonOdoi going on loan potentially, and there's been new developments on that today. Obviously Timo Werner, here we go to RB Leipzig. He's going back to Leipzig on a permanent deal, not a loan deal. We'll get to that later on. And then I'm going to discuss whether it's worth spending 85 million on Wesley Fofana. And just hear me out on that one, because don't get me wrong, I want the guy, but it's like you would think that we'd spend that chunk of money on other areas, or it's worth spending that big amount of money on maybe a certain player that I'd like to talk about maybe in this video. And I might maybe talk about Frenkie de Jong later on in the video and give small details on that, because I don't think it's as big of a story as people think, in my opinion. Like, unless real developments happen, I just don't see a big deal in talking about Frenkie de Jong like that. So yeah, that's why he's not really in the thumbnail today. If you do like, please you obviously comment your thoughts, give it a like, give it a subscribe as well, and yeah, let's get into it straight away. Obviously the first person I do want to talk about is Callum HudsonOdoi. Now with CHO, it looks like Fabrizio Romano came out with an exclusive last night saying Callum HudsonOdoi could leave Chelsea now on a loan deal. It looks like Southampton are pushing. I remember there was talks with Leicester about a potential deal happening there, because obviously we're going for Wesley Fofana, but now it looks like Ruben Loftus-Cheek could be the guy discussed in negotiations for Fofana. So we'll see what happens in terms of that deal and Ruben and stuff. But in terms of CHO, look, before I give the details of where he could go and stuff like that, I just want to give my opinion straight away. We're 2 years too late. We're 2 years too late with CHO going on loan. And I think CHO himself will actually regret actually staying at Chelsea. I get it. You want to make it at Chelsea. You love Chelsea. You've been here since you were 8 years old. But that time when Bayern Munich came in, he should have done it. He should have went. He should have forced the move. Because right now he would be in a much, much better position as a footballer, and in terms of the way people judge him now, than staying at Chelsea. And look where he is now. Now everyone just thinks he's a bum who's useless for us, and he can't fucking shoot to save a barn door. You know, like, his development at Bayern Munich would have been 10 times better than his development at Chelsea. Because at the end of the day, right, if we had even got him to go on loan last year to Borussia Dortmund, who are now the team who are having talks with him, obviously, now to potentially have another loan deal. And I think, you know, with time they'll talk and see what the plan is and stuff like that. And, you know, he wants to ensure he'll get game time, of course, because that's the reason why he's leaving us in the first place. If Tuchel had just allowed him to go on loan last year to Borussia Dortmund, he would come back a much better player, a much more improved player that's actually ready to play for Chelsea Football Club week in, week out. Instead, Tuchel, I love Tuchel, but he was selfish. He was selfish in that moment. He decided, I'm going to keep Callum HudsonOdoi because I need to keep the squad strong. I need the competition to be high. He kept him just to play him at right wing back for most of the time. He had a really good run last season where he played 7 games in a row, which was the most any manager had given to Callum in terms of games played in a row. Like, he had never gotten that run of games in his career at Chelsea, and yet he's been part of the first team since the Conte days. You've got to remember that, people. That's mad. That's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with that, he played well for the 7 games, and then we pretty much didn't see him again playing in that front line consistently. Him playing on the left-hand side consistently, because he had one bad game against Manchester United where he missed a sitter. And for the rest of the season, he was in and out. He was playing left wing back, right wing back. At times, he played in the front 3. And then his last 3 months of the season, he was pretty much just injured, where it wasn't supposed to be a big deal, but it was an Achilles injury that he got over. At the end of the day, he has tried to be committed. He has tried to impress the manager by doing things like cutting his holiday off early and getting to pre-season early, you know, before the first team do. He did it this year. He did it last year. It didn't work for him last year. it hasn't worked for him this year. And I guess what spurred this on is he wasn't in the squad against Everton. He travelled, but he wasn't in the squad against Everton. And I guess that was the final straw for him. I guess Tuchel just doesn't rate him as highly. I think Tuchel rated him way higher when he joined the club in 2021, early 2021, when he played him straight away and gave him a couple games at right wing back. I feel like then he believed in Callum. He saw something in Callum, you know, and you started to understand why Bayern Munich wanted him and all those years back, because you see Tuchel clearly believes in him, the pep talks, etc., etc. But as time goes on, I feel like Tuchel is just slowly starting to be like, it's not it for me. Like, I don't trust him in the front line. And right now, at 21 years old, Callum needs a manager that trusts him. Callum needs a manager that is going to play him in his position week in, week out. He needs it for his development. Otherwise, he's going to turn out to be a bum, because the potential's there. The potential's there. The guy can be a really good creator, man. The guy for his age is really talented. So it's one of those ones where we're a couple years too late. I think he'll look back so far in his career and think, I should have taken that move to Bayern Munich all those years ago. I think Chelsea will also look back and think, that time when Bayern Munich offered a loan deal with an obligation to buy for £70 million, we should have taken it. At the end of the day, for his development, for his career, he needs to go. He needs to play games week in, week out. He can't do that at Chelsea. If he stays here at Chelsea, Tuchel's just going to use him at right wing back. And as much as people may think, yeah, he's better there than at the front line, well, he doesn't believe that. He's an attacker at the end of the day, and attackers don't want to play at wing back. So I can understand Callum's position here. So, yeah, it looks like Dortmund are in talks, Southampton are in talks, Leicester are in talks as well. I want him to go to Europe. I think that would be really good for him, in my opinion. Go to the Bundesliga. I think that's an easier transition for you to settle in. It's a high line. And like I said, he has got certain attributes in his game that can allow him to actually do really well in that league. Like I said, he's a really, really good creator. And as well, with time, his finishing will improve, hopefully. Because 4 goals in 4 years at Chelsea is not good enough, regardless of, you know, whether he's been given the opportunities or not. That stat is shocking. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in terms of Callum HudsonOdoi. If he does go on loan, good luck to him. I really like the boy. I think he's got really, really good potential to be one of the best creators at his age group. Because right now, yeah, this guy's development should put him in a position where we're talking about him in the same way we're talking about Phil Foden right now. The same way people are even talking about Mason Mount right now, even though a lot of people don't rate Mason Mount. We should be talking about Callum in this bracket at the end of the day. We should. Vinicius Jr., they're the same age. We should be talking about Callum in this bracket right now. But we're not. Why is that? I'll let you guys answer that question. We move on anyway to Timo Werner. This one isn't going to take as long. He's Leipzig bound. It looks like it's a done deal. Fabrizio Romano gave the here we go. We've got to give credit to Pletty Goal, who has been pretty much on this saga. Pretty much from the beginning, he said, you know, Chelsea and Leipzig are discussing Timo Werner, whether it could be a loan deal, permanent deal. They discussed both. It looks like we're going to get a fee of around, I think, 30 to 35 million euros, which is about 25 to 30 million pounds, apparently, with add-ons as well. For me, that's a really good deal, in my opinion. The fact that we're getting 25 to 30 mil up front and there's add-ons potentially onto it, that's a good deal considering we bought him for his release clause, which was about 47 million 2 years ago. So for me, for a player that's flopped hard at Chelsea, that hasn't done well at Chelsea, has had good patches, of course, I think it's a good deal. Good luck to him. At the end of the day, it didn't work. The Premier League's not for him. He just doesn't fit Tuchel's style of play. And I guess him and Tuchel also clashed, in which that also impacted his decision to also leave. Because apparently, he would actually like to stay at Chelsea. But because of Tuchel, of course, you know, he wants to go. And I saw a report where he discussed with Tuchel why he should be demanding and starting more games. I mean, I don't know who Timo Werner thinks he is, telling Tuchel, I'm not happy with my game time. I need more chances. I need to start more games. Mate, is he taking the piss? Like, respectfully, is he taking the piss? 2021, when Tuchel came in, bruv, he was playing Timo Werner week in, week out. Every game. I think he played the most games as an attacker out of all of our attack under Thomas Tuchel from when he came in January all the way until the end of that season when we won the Champions League. So I don't understand this start more games bullshit. You got your run, you were shit. The next season, he didn't give you many chances because he doesn't rate you. When you play, you don't do enough for the team. Anyway, let me not go at him too much. He's going back to the Bundesliga. He's going to cook. He's going to do well. He's going to score goals. He's going back to familiar surroundings at the exact same club. He gets to go back to his old house as well. They used to live in as well. It's cool, innit? It didn't work out. Thank you. You're a Champions League winner at least. You had some decent moments for us, like the Real Madrid goal. I thank you for that in the second leg, and fair play. So, yeah, good luck to him regardless. But finally, he's gone. And I just want to mention this real quick before we move on to Wesley Fofana as well, yeah? I'm actually starting to slightly believe now, and I said this a while ago. I'm having a slight feeling. Well, maybe I didn't say it a while ago, maybe not on this channel, but I think I may have said it on Twitter. But I have now a slight feeling that Hakim Ziyech is going to stay at the club. Because if Callum HudsonOdoi is going to go on loan, yeah, and if Timo Werner is leaving the club, and on top of that, if Tuchel is picking Hakim Ziyech to be on the bench instead of Callum HudsonOdoi, and everyone in the fan base expected Ziyech to leave first after Lukaku, what does that tell you? I'm having a slight feeling Hakim Ziyech is going to stay. And with the amount of money we want to spend, if De Jong gets the green light and gives us the green light to go sign him, we're going to spend 70+ million on him. If we sign Fofana, it's going to be close to 80 million. We've already spent nearly 50 on Sterling. We spent 55 on Cucurella. We spent 33 on Koulibaly. We spend an extra 70+ on Fofana and De Jong. We're talking about nearly 300 million pounds of money being spent. And apparently, we want one more attacker as well. On top of that, well, if CHO goes and Werner goes, which he has gone, we're going to need 2 more attackers, in fact. Unless Broha stays, maybe. So maybe we might need 1 more. But if he goes, we're definitely going to need 2 more, at the very least. So we're talking about spending over 300 million pounds here, guys. I don't think Ziyech's going to leave. I just don't see us getting rid of 3, 4 attackers. I just can't see it. So yeah, just wanted to make that point real quick. I think Ziyech's going to stay now because I'm seeing nothing. I saw Man United links not long ago. Nothing's happened on that. AC Milan links, but it looks like nothing's happening on that either. So at the end of the day, I actually think Hakim Ziyech is going to stay. Unless this plan, unless this club has a plan to sign a striker and a winger and keep Broha, then I can't see us selling Ziyech unless we get in 2 new forwards and keep Armando Broha. That way, 3 replacements plus Sterling, meaning Lukaku gone, Werner gone, Hudson-Odoi gone, Ziyech gone. 4 in, Sterling, a centre forward, and 2 more attackers. Wait, what am I talking about? Yeah, Sterling, Broha, and 2 more attackers, and then 4 out being Lukaku, Werner, Hudson-Odoi, and Ziyech. Unless we do that, I just don't see Ziyech going, in my humble opinion. And at best, I think we'll get 1 more attacker. I'm not sure if we'll get 2. So we'll see what happens in terms of that. Another thing, Wesley Fofana. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. The reason why I don't think, it's a tough one because I like Wesley Fofana. I think he has the potential to be one of the best centre-backs in Europe alongside someone like Saliba of Arsenal. I think those 2, for example, have crazy potential. They're pretty much, for me, complete centre-backs for their ages. They're so good for their age, honestly. There's not much flaws in their game. Of course, they'll make mistakes because they are young, of course. But they're pretty complete for their age. They're too good for their age, in fact. So I would say, yes, it would be worth spending 70, 75 million on Fofana, 80 million on Fofana. But I'm thinking about it, I'm like, don't you think it's worth spending that kind of money on a Rafael Leao? That would be a statement signing. Someone like him would be, I think, sick for our attack, you know? And I'm just thinking, and this is why I mentioned before with the attack thing, with Ziyech staying. Like I said, with all the money we've already spent on Cucurella, Sterling and Koulibaly, on top of that, Frenkie de Jong for 70+ million, Wesley Fofana for 80+ million, you're then looking at nearly 300 million pounds, guys. Nearly 300 million. And at best, we may get a striker on loan, maybe. At that point, I can't see us spending big on a forward, which I think we should do, in my opinion. But I don't think we are going to. So I'm thinking, is it worth spending that much money on Fofana? I don't know. Unless the owners are genuinely willing to go crazy. If the owners are willing to go crazy and go, you know what, yeah, 80 million for Fofana, yeah, do that. 70, 75 million on De Jong, yeah, do that. And we're going to get in an attacker for big money too. Yeah. One in and another one on loan maybe. Because apparently, if we do want 2 attackers, I don't think both are going to be permanent. And we do want a striker, but apparently, obviously, there's not many strikers in the market, so it looks like we may get one on loan. So it's possible, but I need to see what attackers we get linked with, because we do want attackers in. We want 2 more apparently, but which ones do we want? The price is important for me. So is it really worth spending 85 million on Fofana? Personally, yes, but there are concerns to it, in my opinion. I'm just playing devil's advocate, guys. I don't actually think that we shouldn't get Fofana. We should get Fofana. We do need a centre-back, because playing Aspilicueta there all season long, no, not for me. And Chalobah, I like Chalobah, but you can't trust him as the main centre-back, in my opinion, right now. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in terms of that. And Frankie de Jong news, let's be honest, until something concrete comes out, apparently he prefers to come to Chelsea over Manchester United, which I can understand. I mean, Man United's performance today, by the way, wow. People said that team were going to finish ahead of Chelsea. You think Chelsea are finishing 6th and Man United are doing better than us? Move, man. Move the hell out, man. So we'll see what happens in terms of Frankie de Jong. I feel like I'll talk about him deeper in another video when more concrete info comes out. I want us to make a bid. I want personal terms agreed, because it looks like we're not going to move in for him until we get his green light first. And I like that. Just to say last thing, I do like that, because with the Rafinha stuff, I criticised Todd Bowley for just throwing the money at Leeds for a player that didn't want to even join us. Didn't even want to even talk to us. So it's a good thing Todd Bowley and Thomas Tuchel are like, okay, if he wants to come, we will put a bid in and we'll sort something out. But if he doesn't want to, we're not going to do what we did with Rafinha. Just throw the money at De Jong. I mean, throw the money at Barcelona. They accepted, and De Jong's like, nah, I'm going to stay, actually. I'm going to take the piss out of you guys. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, we'll see what happens in terms of that. If you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Tell me your thoughts below on everything I've mentioned. Cho going on loan. Do you agree with me and think it was 2 years too late? And do you think Chelsea regret not taking that option that Bayern Munich offered? And do you think Cho regrets not pushing for the move to Bayern Munich when they first came in for him? Tell me your thoughts on Timo Werner going on loan to Leipzig. Thoughts on Wesley Fofana. Do you think it's worth it spending 85 million on him, considering the other options we do need? You know, thinking that an attack is more of a priority than defense right now. Tell me your thoughts on all of that as well. And Frankie de Jong news as well. Tell me your thoughts on all of that stuff, people. Like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications, follow my social media down below. And yeah, really enjoyable video. Like I said, I'm back on the grind. I'm back on the consistency. And I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys. Peace.